If you could travel back in time to see Earth, not to the age of dinosaurs, not even to the first forests, but to a time more than 4 billion years ago, you would not recognize this planet at all. There would be no trees, no grass, no animals, and no people. The sky would look unfamiliar, the oceans would look different, and the land would not be green. In fact, scientists believe that Earth may once have looked purple. It sounds like science fiction, but this idea comes from real science, real biology, and real observations. So let's slow down and understand how this could be possible. Earth formed about 4.54 billion years ago from dust and gas surrounding a young sun. At first, it was a violent world. Volcanoes erupted constantly. Asteroids slammed into the surface, and the atmosphere was toxic, filled with methane, carbon dioxide, and ammonia. There was almost no oxygen. For humans, this would be instantly deadly. But for early life, this was normal. Life appeared surprisingly early. Evidence suggests that simple life existed at least 3.8 billion years ago, and possibly even earlier. These first life forms were tiny, single-celled, no eyes, no brains. They lived in water and focused on just one thing, turning energy into survival. Today, when we think of life using sunlight, we think of plants. Plants use a process called photosynthesis. Here's the simple version. Sunlight hits a plant. The plant captures some of that light and uses the energy to make food. The tool plants use is a molecule called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll absorbs red and blue light and reflects green light. That reflected green light is why plants look green to us. But here's the key point. Chlorophyll is not the only way to use sunlight. Some organisms use a different system, a simpler one. This system uses a molecule called retinal. Retinal also captures sunlight, but it works differently. Instead of absorbing red and blue light, it absorbs green light and reflects purple or reddish light. So organisms that use retinal often look purple, pink, or red, and they still exist today. They are known as halobacteria and purple bacteria. They live in extreme environments, very salty lakes, hot springs, and places where plants cannot survive. One famous example is the bright pink color of some salt lakes caused by these microbes. Scientists believe these organisms are extremely ancient, similar to some of Earth's earliest life forms. This leads to an intriguing idea. What if early Earth was dominated by retinal-based life instead of chlorophyll-based life? If that were true, large parts of the planet could have reflected purple light. This idea is known as the purple Earth hypothesis. Why would purple life appear first? Because it is simpler. Retinal-based systems require fewer chemical steps, they do not produce oxygen, and they work well in oxygen-free environments. And early Earth had almost no oxygen. For nearly 2 billion years, oxygen was nearly absent from the atmosphere. Today, oxygen feels essential, but back then, it was toxic. Then something dramatic happened. Around 2.4 billion years ago, a group of organisms called cyanobacteria spread across the planet. They used chlorophyll and performed a more advanced form of photosynthesis. And as waste, they released oxygen. At first, this oxygen reacted with rocks and metals in the oceans, but eventually it began to build up in the atmosphere. This moment is known as the Great Oxygenation Event. It was one of the most important turning points in Earth's history. Many existing organisms died. Entire ecosystems collapsed. But oxygen also unlocked new possibilities. It allowed cells to produce far more energy. Over time, this led to complex cells, multicellular life, plants, animals, and eventually, humans. Green life slowly took over the planet. Purple life did not disappear, but it was pushed into extreme environments, and that is when Earth's dominant color changed, from dark microbial shades to blue oceans and green land. This idea matters for another reason. Today, scientists search for life beyond Earth by studying light. When a planet reflects sunlight, its surface leaves behind distinct patterns. Green plants create a signal called the red edge, a sharp change in reflected light caused by chlorophyll. This signal can be detected from space, but retinal-based life would produce a different signal, a purple edge. In studies supported by NASA and astrobiologists, During the 2010s and early 2020s, scientists warned of an important risk. If we only search for green signals, we might miss alien life entirely. Life on other planets may not be green. It could be purple, orange, or something we've never seen before. Understanding Earth's past helps us search more intelligently. So, was Earth definitely purple? Science is honest. There is no photograph, no fossil color record. But the idea is supported by living purple microbes, ancient biochemistry, early atmospheric conditions, and evolutionary logic. It is not proven. But it is possible, and in science, possibility backed by evidence is powerful. The real lesson here is not about color, it is about change. Earth has never been fixed. It has rewritten its atmosphere, its oceans, its surface, and its dominant life forms again and again. Green life feels permanent only because it is what we see today. But life is flexible, and the planet keeps evolving. So the next time you look at a green forest or a grassy field, remember this. Green is not the original color of life. It is just the current chapter. Before you go, here's a question. If you could see Earth at any moment in its history, would you choose the green world we know today or the ancient purple world we might have missed? If you enjoyed this way of explaining complex ideas, liking the video really helps. Subscribe for more simple science stories like this. And feel free to share this with someone who loves science but hates complicated explanations. I'll see you in the next video.